What's up, self-helpers? It's Vikram here, and we're back again to discuss about self-talk. Now, in the previous video, we spoke about the basics of self-talk. What were the positive and negative aspects of self-talk in your own mind that you know that you should be aware of at all points of time because it defines who we become in life. So, guys, in this video, we are going to talk about what the effects of self talk are in different areas of our life after this self analysis. So, you have the foundation laid out. So, guys, start picturing what you feel needs to change with regard to your self talk after you understand the effects of self talk from this video. There's this thing that Dr. Christopher M. Carr states. He defines self talk as the conscious and subconscious dialogue that occurs in our mind during and after competition. So, again, how we feel in different situations and how we evaluate them after they've occurred. He also states that self talk affects your confidence, your focus, and also your barrage of emotions that you typically experience when you perform a certain way. So, typically, if you were to perform positively, you would have positive emotions, emotions that motivate you towards doing something in a more positive way to continue your performance in the direction that you're already going. And if you were to do the same thing in a negative fashion, it would also probably lead to negative events. So, looking at negative self talk this way is essential if you're going to redo and improve your performance moving ahead. What Christopher M. Carr says is that if athletes are engaging in negative self talk, their affective or their emotional experience may be one of frustration, anger, or even extreme anxiety. If you can recall a time in your match where you were emotionally provoked and you were thinking about a negative outcome, this is exactly the kind of things that you would be facing. And if you're someone who is typically easily frustrated in most situations, becomes angry, is tipped off even by the smallest of things, this is something that you really need to think about and start wondering, how are you going to go about changing this? So, emotional states like these can challenge your breathing, can lead you to make poor decisions, can lead you to lose concentration, increase muscle tension, and a whole bunch of other things. And these ultimately lead to poor and even damage your performance for a length of time. If you haven't really experienced this in the past, well, you're probably the world champion. So, no one's perfect, and it's important to know that any one of us, under most circumstances, are easily provoked by emotion, but maintaining a stable and calm mind is essential to evaluating and ultimately overcoming this. So, if an athlete's self talk is positive and relevant in these situations, they can also come out with good performance. So, when your emotional well being is tested in a match, this is where the players really come out and prove their mettle. So, in these situations, if they're positive, the emotional experience is going to be one of relaxation, feeling calm, and feeling centered, feeling a sense of oneness with the situation, and ultimately, that person is more likely to engage in good performance, and that ultimately leads to positive results. Now, you can understand it in this fashion that if you engage in positive self talk, that is going to undo all the negative self talk that has been present in the past. So, that can take away the effect of the negative self talk. So, guys, engage in more positive self talk. And again, as we move on to the next video in this playlist, you will start to understand the exact strategies. So, guys, in this video, we basically spoke about how self talk affects different aspects of our lives, including prompting a specific behavior in different situations, specifically with regard to sports. You're trying to go on with a certain behavior that you believe is the right thing to do, and then that ultimately translates into your future self talk. Improving your self confidence is something that comes out of changing your negative self talk. How you focus and concentrate under different circumstances in a particular match or situation in your training, this is highly essential to understand. How motivated you feel. So how many of us, literally sit down in each and every situation, we feel, I just don't feel it at this point of time, I'm going to wait for that sense of inspiration to come in. How you talk to yourself translates into how motivated you feel. So every time you're feeling low on energy, start to tell yourself that, I'm feeling really energetic, I feel really pumped. Just transform that inner dialogue. That is what's going to translate into something called arousal control, how our body physically feels. So again, you feel more motivated. That is transformed already by your changed self talk from negative to positive, and that translates into more energy, a feeling of not being provoked into feeling more anxious, frustrated, or angry, but a feeling of motivation, a sense of power, a sense of, feeling centered and in control of the situation. This is something that happens over time, but it's something that you do to constantly train yourself. So be aware of the different effects of your self-talk, and that is going to ultimately translate into how we go about changing the pattern of behavior. So guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and hit bell notifications to never miss a video from this channel. And of course, tell me what you thought about this video down in the comments below, and what you want to learn about psychology moving forward, because this channel is dedicated to you becoming the best version of yourself in any area of your life, and it's my job to deliver the content every single week. So guys, until then, this is Vikram signing off, and I'll see you in the next session.